Hi there, this is Three of Spades, and today I'm going to be playing my game, Rogue Planet. I want to apologize if there's any lag in here. Normally it's not this bad, however, since Game Guru doesn't really like any kind of overlays, the best I could do was, of all things, MSI Afterburner, to try and at least get you, fucking hell if I know, 30 frames a second gameplay. I'm on a GTX Titan, so don't get it mixed up. I optimized my game, as you can see in my trailers, but unfortunately it just doesn't like recorders and overlays and stuff, so that's why it is the way it is here. But anyway, regardless, this here is the first level, and after trying to get it to record a couple times, I was able to get it started about here. So then, off we go. So over there, the tower is down, and normally there'd be a bunch of grass and, you know, fancy lights and other fun shit like this. There we are, see? Pretty cool. And as we can see, it doesn't mess with the frame rate too much, but, yeah, the whole sort of appeal of this game was that you could do this all in real time, and that's kind of why I stuck with Game Guru as long as I did, because otherwise it's not a particularly good game engine. It's really unstable, really laggy and broken, and has more fucking issues than a long-running series of comics or magazines like Spider-Man or some shit. So this here was what I was able to do single-handedly. A bunch of people haven't been willing to play the game for some reason, and I imagine performance is definitely one of them, but as we'll start to see here, one little thing I wanted to show about this level is that you should get, if you're paying attention to jumping the fence, there was a bit of text in there that said you could jump the fence if you weren't on the job. Well, you actually can jump the fence, and you can go over the tree, cross the water. Then there should be a teleport phase-in sound here. And if you wait, you can see some platforms, tables spawn in front of you. And if you win, you get the best view in the city. There's the hidden parkour course, which is pretty cool. It also has an FOV slider, so I'm gonna slide that shit right up. Oop. I might need to just turn that shit down too while I'm at it. Unfortunately, the best I could do was master audio, but you definitely get to hear some sick beats if you play this game. This here is one of the few out-of-bounds Easter eggs. There are a few out here. So what you have to do is you go over to these tables, and after you've gone up the tables, you can go across the bridge. As you can see, there are little bars in here to try and trick you into falling off, but you can jump them fairly easily. They're little supports for this fence. So we're gonna go up here. And as we can see below, there's quite a lot of a destroyed city down there. Over here as well. It's been taken by the sands. Now this game takes place in a alternate reality 2012 Santa Fe, New Mexico. The reason why I chose that was because I figured, well, alien sightings I think originally was the idea, but I'm not sure entirely. I think I just chose it because it sounded cool. I have seen pictures of this stuff, and yeah, this town looks like Tatooine, so that's pretty awesome. So if you complete the parkour course, you get a jetpack, and you can fly if you press the right click. Or at least you're supposed to be able to. Although the game likes to lag if you look in particular directions. When you record, like me, as soon as the recorder goes off, it starts working just fine. So I love it when Game Guru decides to be a piece of shit. This is why I left this stuff for Unreal Engine, but I figured it would be helpful to do like a little developer commentary or Let's Play, just to let people know, hey guys, this game exists. I spent 7 years making it, so I'd like you to play it. Yeah, and you can also break the map. There's also a few other fun Easter eggs. If you get the jetpack, you can go in here and there's a Star Wars reference. We're gonna die! Oh no! And it's the droid army. So, there's another thing you can do. If you, you go over here, you can do this at the start of the level if you want, as soon as you spawn in. But what you do is you can jump out, you can get stuck in here, and there's an alternate hidden 8th ending, which is kind of just a joke ending, but spoilers for this game that nobody played. And, well, not going to spoil it for you, but you'll know what it is when you see it. Officially, you do not play as Marcus in this first level, but that's your main hero, if you will, who you play as throughout this game. So, we're going to get back to where we were in the level. But another thing I did is you can also open these doors and go in them, because I figure if it's a door, you should be able to open it. It's not just, you know, be a door you can't open if it's not, you know, otherwise busted or, in the case of over there, horribly, horribly irradiated. Now in this case, door's busted, but if you have the jetpack, well, no door is a limit, of course. If you also get on top of the Radio Shack, yes, pun intended, you get a little funny message there. Now, before I start doing any fun sequence breaks, I'm gonna go over here and start the game proper. I'm here, Aurora. And that's a story cutscene where Aurora introduces herself. That sets up the narrative, sort of, where Aurora has blocked out the truth, and you have to figure out what the fuck happened to Kent. Also, if you go on the other side of this wall, thanks to Bloodburn, I have some cool concept art, and there were supposed to be more than one of these. However, the reason why I actually did have a final build of this game that was way more complete, but the reason why I had to basically jerry-rig and reverse engineer Demo 5 and then add a few levels on top of it was because the engine broke. So I think at some point I'll release the level files, and if people want to fuck around with them themselves, then they're more than welcome. The only stipulation would be that you'd have to provide, you know, whatever assets you used, or if you want, you know, try and remake it, sort of. I'd like this to actually be of some use to people who are trapped on Game Guru or otherwise would like to take some notes from how I was able to make a game as big as this. Now that I've gone on to starting to make a second, I figure, well, it's really of no use to me anymore. Other than, of course, the experience I kind of took from it, and that being that I feel as if you could make a very simple, linear Xbox 360 Call of Duty, you know, action-adventure game, like a campaign, fairly well. And in my case, I aimed for horror, which helps with being able to load in hallucinations of giant bridges and trees and other weird shit. You know, having glowing ladies at the end of the tunnel where the angels of death start talking to you in your dreams. And you're more than welcome to do shit like that, but I mean, naturally, you know, it'd be better if you just kind of came up with your own ideas. This game was not ever supposed to exist in the form that it did, but the form it inevitably took, I was rather satisfied with, even though it wasn't what I had intended. I still made a game, and I think did a pretty good job with it. And as you can see, this is this is quite a lot for one person to do over the course of 7 years, and hopefully I can show you the rest of it in these other levels coming up. Here we go.